for
Look at the camera and say,
Daddy's Archie edition.
good job.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
That was perfect.
And today we're talking about the Kraton 8S. So originally I wasn't going to do anything to this vehicle, but on my very first cartwheel I broke a rear suspension arm. I tried to fix it, but yeah, you can't fix those things. Here are the lower rear suspension arms. You can see right there where it cracked, and this whole chunk right in there, you can see where the glue is. That whole chunk came right out. This whole chunk came right out. I tried to repair it, but you know, it's not the same. But these are really, really bad for the weight of this vehicle. Look how thin this piece is right here. And the plastic is just bad. Arrma, these suck. I ordered the replacement arms. There's got to be something better. So I checked out GPM, and I think I've got one of the first orders in the US. The braces, the front knuckles, front upper suspension arms, front lower suspension arms, rear suspension arms.
1 minute.
What?
It's cool because like this green and black. Everything was black before, but now.
Yeah.
Well, these were
the green's gonna look really good.
These were
Yeah.
the black is gonna be but now they're gonna be green.
Look, everything's gonna be green.
It's gonna be green. It's gonna look really nice.
Before we go.
Yeah.
The front, center, and rear support arms. You can get them at GPM. GPM, the sophisticated parts for RC cars. But here goes one of them. Ooh, they feel nice. Yeah, let me just.
They feel.
They even got a nice little GPM logo on
I
it.
said first.
Okay.
Okay, all right, you can get one. There's 3 of them.
Oh yeah, they feel heavy
Wait.
duty.
Right? They're all gonna look the same.
Feel.
Sophisticated.
And also
Doesn't
heavy
it make you
duty.
feel more sophisticated? The color is really nice.
Yeah,
I
I like
really
the
like this
color.
green. It's a really nice color. I hope the camera is showing you what it looks like.
Cause if it's not, I'm gonna put the camera in the face.
Knuckles. So it's got a plastic insert there.
Looks
And
sophisticated.
there, that's where the very sophisticated. That's where the bearings go.
Oh, you remember the name?
Very, very nice, and they're labeled also. Right?
Ooh. That,
I can't get it, but there you go. You see now. But really nice looking. Upper suspension arm. Front upper suspension arm.
Molly.
Oh, we got to keep these together. So they give you the pins, and they give you a bolt and screw to lock down your insert there. Pins, nothing really special to look at, but the arms, again, like everything else, is green,
and
but they're also
Sophisticated.
labeled
white.
right and left. It's upside down, but they're labeled.
Yeah.
Right? Very, very nice looking.
Very nice looking and
Pretty much exactly like
Hard looking.
the original, except for this little cutout here is different.
And he has a Monster High pencil.
Front lower suspension arms. These have got some weight to them, right? Considerably stronger
like
than their
heavier.
plastic counterparts.
Yeah.
So again, labeled again left and right. You can't make a mistake. It's got all the same adjustments and fittings. Daggie's playing a video game. Right. Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
Where are the pins? Were there any other pins that came in? Rear lower suspension arms.
Ow.
Nice sound. Wow.
Label. Left and right.
Yep, they want this one.
What?
Yep, they want this one.
All the same adjustments.
Green.
And it's green.
Same.
They're sophisticated.
And it's sophisticated.
Definitely sophisticated.
So
Very noisy, apparently.
Yeah.
awesome.
Now you should close that knife.
Next, they'll be on the car. Yeah. Hoping all this aluminum makes this car a little bit more stronger, especially the suspension. It'll probably make something else weaker if this part is stronger. So, in any case, pretty excited. I think it's going to look really cool, and hopefully it performs really well. Another upgrades I'm going to do, I'm going to put the rear the additional support, but I have the old tower, but I'm going to figure out some sort of fillet or put in here. You could see that it doesn't quite, the new tower has more meat here, but I will figure something out to span that gap and make it work.
Kaden ate this.
Okay, we got all the suspension in, and it looks really nice. Goes with the color of the body. Really, it's not the same exact color, but it goes really nice. Installation was pretty much straightforward. The hardest thing about the install of these parts was this right here. This right here. Getting this off on the old one. It's threaded right through this whole piece and into the knuckle on the old one and on this one. And they put a ton of thread lock on it, so it was a little tough getting it out. And then you got to thread it all the way out of everything. Getting it out is obviously much easier. That was the toughest part. Everything else went on.
RC addiction.
And that's right, Daddy's RC addiction. And everything else went on really good. I said one thing before, that they had the same adjustments on the control arm, the lower suspension arms, but they actually have, the plastic ones only have this middle slot. The metal ones have 3 slots, so I chose to raise it up a bit. I may end up lowering it a bit. I just want to see how it rides a little higher. And they have that on the front and the backs. And I did the same thing on the backs as I did in the front. I raised them up a bit. But all in all, they went in really nice and they look awesome. Forget about the center braces. They went in pretty easy. The most difficult one was this one here. You have to take out the power unit in order to get the pin out. That's right down here. But they look nicer, I think, and they should be stronger. Another upgrade I did was I ran some lights. These lights here show through the little back window here, and I ran, and those are red, and I ran lights to the front, and I also ran lights to the back right here. Those are red, obviously. Okay, my son Dax is going to turn it. Turn it, buddy. There's the front lights. Here are the back lights. And there are the lights in the back window. Keep turning, buddy. There are the lights in the back window. Helps you see at night. Awesome. For the rear chassis brace, I used these insert nuts right here. You're going to need to tool them a bit. These are them. That's what they look like. To make them fit in there, if you have the old tower, which I have, is you need a nut, but you need to tool it a bit. You need to cut these down to 12.5 millimeters. You have to take off some of this lip, about that much or so. On the opposite side, you need to make a little relief up it like that. So you need to cut between these to make like a little U shape. So the purpose of the cuts, so when you're cutting that top collar, this part, when you cut it here, the purpose of that is so that it clears this here. So you need to cut off that top collar. And then on the bottom, this part here, this plastic part, you got to cut that U-shaped relief in it on the opposite side where you cut the top collar. And then obviously you got to cut it the whole length to 12.5 millimeters so that it fits the distance, the gap. The nice thing about this is that that collar, once you've got it all cut, rests up against this plastic support, and it just works perfect. It came out really strong. It's a good mod for if you have the old center brace tower. First cut is the length to 12.5 millimeters. There's the first cut. It doesn't have to be, perfectly exactly 12.5, but as close as possible. The second cut, we're going to be taking off a piece of this collar as a relief for the brace. When you're done, it should look something like this. The last cut is going to be on almost the opposite side of the relief cut. And this is going to be a relief cut for the center brace. About where that brown mark is where I'm going to make the cut. When you're done, it should look something like this, right? With the relief for the two braces slightly opposite each other. So when it goes in, it's going to go in down like this. This top relief is for this inset here, and this U relief on the back is for around this plastic piece, plastic center brace. So fit in there, down there like that. These I actually made for my brother. Mine are already in, as you can see. And like I said before, the cool part is this collar here rests up against this plastic part and just adds that brace, extra bracing. So when you're done, they should look like this. And they do a great job. Obviously the bolts get whatever's suitable that will fit through the insert nut. I just happen to have a couple of butterfly bolts hanging around. I just put some nuts on them, some washers to keep them in place, some thread lock. So good luck. Another great upgrade for the Kraton 8S, which you guys probably saw but I didn't mention, are these Duratrax Hatchet X. These tires are belted so they don't balloon at all, almost at all. No ballooning. These tires are awesome, great grip. You should get them if you have the Kraton. They're awesome. Wow, they look awesome and they went in easy. Nice.
Thanks for watching. Look out for the running video.
Subscribe!